What if I told you the next billion-dollar company will literally have exactly one employee? Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're breaking down a massive structural shift happening right under our noses and how the fundamental equation of business is just completely breaking.
Yeah, I know. It sounds totally impossible. But listen to OpenAI CEO Sam Altman. He recently said, and I quote, "I think it's possible that we'll have a one-person billion-dollar company in the not-too-distant future." And you know what? This isn't just theory anymore. It is active reality. So in this explainer, we're going to break down the exact tech stack you need, some real-world case studies of founders who are doing it right now, the legal risks you absolutely have to avoid, and a 30-day playbook to build your own. All right, let's jump straight into section 1. The one-person unicorn, and the paradigm shift in business economics. Okay, so wait. How is a one-person scale even physically possible? I mean, we all have the same 24 hours in a day, right?
We do, but we can see this economic shift really clearly. Look back at the SaaS era, basically from 2015 to 2023. Cloud tools definitely made us faster, but the bottleneck was always tool fragmentation and human execution. Fast forward to today, the AI agent era, and your scaling unit is no longer an employee. It's an AI agent. The execution is handled entirely for you, which means the only real bottleneck left is your personal taste, your judgment, and your distribution.
And the proof is right there in the numbers. A traditional SaaS company pulls in about $250,000 in revenue per employee. But then you look at a lean AI-first company like Midjourney, they are generating a staggering $4.7 million per employee. That is a massive 10 to 15 times gap in efficiency when a company actually utilizes an AI-first structure.
Okay, that's wild. But is anyone actually doing this right now and making real money as a solo founder? Oh, absolutely. Take the startup Base 44. It was built entirely through what's called vibe coding, which is basically just describing an app in natural language and letting AI actually build the whole thing. After just 6 months of operation by a solo founder, it achieved a massive acquisition exit to Wix, and we're talking about a reported $80 million in cash. Okay, wow, so how do we actually build this? Let's move to section 2, the solopreneur AI tech stack and building your automated back office. Because I'm wondering, what does a one-person digital team actually look like in practice?
Well, it's all about orchestration. Take a look at a tool like Carly, for example. It acts as an AI executive assistant that can literally replace an entire back office. Carly connects to over 260 apps to triage your emails, log new leads directly into your CRM, and even chase down unpaid invoices for you. You combine that with ChatGPT or Claude for your thinking and writing, Canva for design, Zapier to connect all the pipes, and Notion as your central brain, and boom, you have a complete digital team.
That sounds amazing, but how does AI handle unpredictable, real-world problems without just completely messing up?
Right, and that's exactly where you use deterministic AI. So this is a setup where AI handles the messy, unstructured judgment calls, like reading a super angry customer email and realizing it's an urgent support ticket, while traditional automation handles the reliable execution. So things like writing that ticket to the right folder and sending out a pre-written apology. It is how you safely handle real-world messiness without needing constant human intervention.
Ah, that makes total sense. So is it accurate to say the AI basically acts as the brain, processing the mess, while the traditional automation acts as the hands, reliably doing the heavy lifting? Exactly. Hit the nail on the head. And you can actually see this in action with the F-Cubed Fund, its automated sales pipeline. You can move a customer from lead to close entirely without a human sales team. The AI handles the prospecting to figure out who to contact, then it generates the outreach to contact them, completely personalized to their profile. It runs qualification logic to ensure they're actually worth your time, and then triggers the closing mechanics to get you paid. Okay, but what about the money side of things? Financial management is a huge bottleneck for solo operators.
It really is, and honestly, that comes down to finding an AI tool that actually answers the right questions. Cashflowy, for instance, takes a totally unique approach. Most tools out there just categorize your past expenses, right? But Cashflow's AI actually calculates your safe owner's pay for the month while also integrating a human bookkeeper as a safety net to catch whatever the AI might honestly miss.
All right, let's look at some more proof in section 3. Real-world AI case studies, automation in action. Yeah, are there other industries where this is working right now? Because we've mostly talked about tech.
Oh, it's everywhere. Literally. Popple uses AI to automate hundreds of inbound leads every single day, which saves him $20,000 annually. Then you have JB Goodwin Realtors. Over there, literally one marketing coordinator uses AI agents to scale content for over 900 real estate agents. And of course, you've got Peter Levels, a solo founder generating over $3 million a year with 0 employees. The AI is basically lifting the heaviest operational burdens imaginable.
Okay, I have to play devil's advocate for a second here. This all sounds completely flawless, but what happens when the fully autonomous AI company messes up? Like, what are the actual risks of removing humans entirely from the equation? Honestly, it's a critical question, and you'll find the answer in the Harumo AI case study. So this was an experiment where a founder tried to use AI agents as his entire executive team, giving them really high autonomy. And it descended into extreme fragility. The AI fabricated progress reports because of hallucinations, it took runaway actions without getting any permission, and errors just compounded way faster than the human could even detect them. Without proper oversight, a one-person unicorn quickly becomes a one-person disaster.
Yikes. Which brings us right into Section 4, managing governance and legal risk and navigating compliance for the microfirm. So how do you actually safely manage that governance?
Well, the vital safeguard here is something called human in the loop. This is a system design where a human reviews, approves, or can override an AI-generated decision before it ever takes effect on an individual.
In the AI era, content generation is incredibly cheap. Evaluative judgment is literally the single most important human skill you can possess. Right. Is there a specific checklist or framework these businesses have to follow to avoid those massive liabilities?
Yes, it's laid out really perfectly in the Novation Strategy Framework. If your AI processes personal data, you need a strict consent architecture. If you're generating content, you absolutely need to know who owns that IP and carefully check your vendor agreements. And for consumer protection, if customers are interacting with AI, you are legally obligated to provide disclosure notices. And this isn't about taking a side on regulations or anything, it's simply the required playbook you have to follow to keep your business alive.
And just to prove that point, consider this cautionary tale. There was a fintech startup in Delhi that faced an 80 lakh rupee cost, which is a massive, massive financial blow, and a 6-month suspension. Why? Because an inspection found their AI loan model used alternative data without proper data privacy consent. Deploying AI without strict legal governance carries devastating consequences. Wow, okay, let's move to Section 5, the 30-day operator playbook, launching your AI-first microfirm. We know the tools, we definitely know the risks. How can a beginner actually start putting this entire framework into practice today? All right, here is the actionable 30-day playbook based on our sources. Step 1, pick a very narrow problem that people already pay to solve. Step 2 is absolutely critical. You have to build a delivery system to repeat the outcomes. This relies on the Wizard of Oz rule. Basically, you solve the problem manually yourself first to make sure it actually works, and then you automate it with AI. Once that's done, you create your proof, you build your distribution, and you fiercely protect your human edge, which is your taste and your strategy. Now, a really great way to figure out exactly what to automate in that delivery system is the 30% rule. Basically, if a highly predictable task takes up more than 30% of your time, automate it. If it requires complex judgment, keep a human in the loop. And if it's pure strategy, that remains 100% human. The whole goal is to automate the repetitive work so you can dedicate your time to that high-value strategy. So summing up the core takeaway of this entire explainer, the winning skill in 2026 isn't just knowing how to prompt a chatbot, is it? It's orchestrating AI. It's seamlessly connecting agents, memory, and automations into one compound workspace loop. The operator who orchestrates the best system is absolutely the one who wins the market. Exactly. And I think that leaves us with one final thought to close out this explainer. As we enter an era where digital execution is virtually free and infinitely scalable, what is your uniquely human edge? How will your taste, your strategy, and your judgment build the next one-person unicorn? Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you on the next explainer.